As I mentioned, I can direct the staff to look into that and get back to you.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, don't you think it's a shame what's going on here?
We don't, just let me know what you think, and then we'll have a conversation about that.
Who's we?
The council.
The council? Okay. I just think it's terrible what's going on here. Don't you?
Time's just about up, Mr. Wyckoff. Thank
Okay,
you
Nora.
for your comments.
Thank you.
Okay. Chief Schnell, since we got the opening, why don't you talk about what's going on, what happened over the weekend?
Mayor, Council, as you've seen, we had a homicide that occurred early on Saturday morning, home invasion type of incident. The investigation since that time has been very active. As you probably have heard, we recovered a gun that is at the crime lab being processed. We are looking at a variety of different kind of motives relative to this case. But we do have the concern about, the things that are happening where we had a conversation, in fact, over the weekend and into today, just about some of the challenges that we're facing and the kind of things that we do to get in front of this. We have done an analysis of all of these homicides and to try and look for the kind of key and underlying kind of driving factors. We don't have a single kind of driving factor. These are not all domestic-related homicides. They're certainly not all kind of gang-related homicides. They're just such a mix. So to find that kind of underlying kind of dynamic just doesn't exist here, which indicates that they are a bit more random. Now, that doesn't mean that they are any less kind of concerning or troubling or tragic. But that ultimately it becomes really hard to police and develop strategies to intervene in homicides that are as random as they are. And you can just compare this to some of the other places where you see a lot of the homicide activity being really focused on gang activity. There are strategies and efforts that can be done to be more targeted around that. This is more difficult. But we are, in fact, working on a variety of strategies that we think are more immediate responses to this, and we'll be working on that. We have increased our engagement, as we talked about, I think, in the last council meeting with nextdoor.com, which over 1,200 people are active on in Maplewood. We've been putting out information on this case and getting information out, and the feedback, while people are certainly concerned, the feedback has been positive, and I think people want to be engaged. They want the information, and we're committed to making sure that they get it. So I hear the concern. I understand it, and if there's, we want to work up a good strategy, but we want to be smart about this as well.
Thank you. And I think that I saw your posts on nextdoor.com. I saw a lot of people on the site that my area is that had posted thank yous. And so I think people really appreciate having kind of that direct line. It's often, sometimes, usually the city council will get a copy of a press release. I think it's sort of the copy of the press release that goes up there. And so we're keeping the community informed. And I think a lot of people were really aware of that over the weekend, of this particular homicide for one reason or another. So I heard a lot as I was out and about. But I think that it is just the reality of 2015 and living in Maplewood or St. Paul or a lot of places. It's our year to have some of these things happen. But as Chief Schnell said, it wasn't quote unquote, this one wasn't random, right, Chief? It's not like they picked a house and went in there. There was people. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Mayor, Council, we're working on a variety of things, but by every indication in the investigation, and I can't get into all the details, but by every indication, this was not an entirely random incident. We believe strongly and firmly that this house was the target or focus of the suspect or suspects in this case, and that it was motivated by. What exactly it was motivated by is really one of the focuses of investigators, although we have received a variety of information even this afternoon, just even since we've been meeting here. We got some updates that had come in, and that investigators are out talking to some people. So I think, we feel like we're making significant progress, but this was not a random